we met Tim Fowler last week. Tim is newer, not brand new, but newer to our support team. So he's committed his availability to doing an assessment when the board would like to do that of the, the perimeter, the access control. We looked at different things and we talked about different things there. Tim is Class D, certified with the state of Florida security professional. There's a lot going on in the building, but more so in, the neighborhood there. And it's just amazing what's going on with the restaurants and the pier and everything. There's so much more traffic in front of Parliament House. So parking, traffic, access control, security, the next 3 years, we think that that's very important. And Tim was introduced to the board last week on that. Technology will continue. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, Stuart, if I could. And human resources. Training and development, talent acquisition will be maintained in the building. If there's anything specific we need to do there, right now we've been focused this year on the COVID protocols and training for all the staff. But if we need to do more around preventative maintenance, I think that's been very successful, et cetera. So that's part of what we're looking at in the next 3 years. It's 3 pillars. It's one is your key objectives that we talked about, that we said to the board, we want to make sure we're on the right page with you. And guess what? We had a lot of them, but we didn't have all of them. And the board made clear to us last Wednesday, add these things. We need to focus on these things. And not only did we add them, we put them on the top of the list. But in order to be successful, we have to be supporting the key objectives of the board of directors. That's number one. Second pillar, cost containment, which is over here, value engineering, cost containment, and energy efficiency. We've done a lot of work there. There will be more added to that. There's more that we've identified and we've quantified for the board, and we're happy to discuss that. Existing savings that we've already done, but to Stuart's point, what are we going to continue to do over the next 3 years? So we've offered a concession. The board will be seeing that very, very soon in a renewal on our management fee. And we have some additional cost savings opportunities that we're bringing to you. And then there's a couple of new things that haven't been released yet, but I think they might be, once we get them finalized at the company, to get them offered to your building as well. So call center is going to be key. Our value engineering is going to be key. The next thing that we talked about, and the third pillar here, if my slide will advance, bear with me. Here we go. Okay, FirstService Residential Connect. So as you all know, this was installed. This is our technology platform. And as you all know, we brought this to the building when we first got there. And there has been additional enhancements and developments since then. This system is written and maintained in Dania Beach, right up the street from you guys. That's where our team is. And then we have duplicate redundant centers, just to remind the community, in Nevada. So we have 2 of them. So we can again blow away in the office, and your systems and your communication platforms will be up and running at all times. This happens in every hurricane and in every natural disaster event. As you can see on the screen here, these are very specific items. This takes a specific technology team to put together. This just doesn't exist in the business. You can go out to the market, and you can buy things off the shelf that you see up there that we actually partner with at HomeNet and Association Voice and Building Link, and you'll be offered all of that. But then when you go over and we speak with Howard about accounting and reports, for example, that's in a different system. And so what you're seeing here on the right-hand side are all the different systems that come together to make FirstService Residential Connect. We write all the APIs and everything to bring everything together behind the scenes. And then what ends up happening for your building. So we now have the developed column. We already have the enhanced amenity reservations for your club rooms, et cetera. We've upgraded the community website, and we've upgraded that to now have mobile applications and for the residents as well as the board. It was made clear to us, hey, we don't know that everybody actually knows about this. For those that want to use it, that they know that they have a mobile application. You can go on to the Apple Store or the Android store today and download it and have access to your account in the building and everything in there.
Bill, can I interrupt for a minute?
Yes, ma'am, please.
Could you explain to the residents the advantage of reporting issues on the Connect system as opposed to calling or just going to the office to report a problem? Because our residents are concerned with the response time. That has been a big issue.
Yes. Thank you, Lorraine, for that. And we did talk about that. That's going to go back to improving resident relations and service. So with this system, you have every resident on this call, every resident in the building has access to the following. You have your community website where you have access to information, meeting minutes, governing documents, contracts, etc. 24/7. You can also submit a work order or a question for the manager through that website. We've subsequently updated it over the last 18 months, I think, to include the mobile application. So those that would like to use their smartphones can also do all of that. You can come home at 10 o'clock at night and see a broken sprinkler head and report that because the office isn't open at 10 o'clock at night or on a Saturday, etc. That automatically becomes a work order in the system. So we've enhanced the technology to be able to reach everybody everywhere. If you're a snowbird in New York and you're announcing that you're going to be coming down or that you're going to have guests or you're going to have domestic help in the building, you can approve those guests for the front desk online now. You can do all of this work. That's number one. Everything can be done online. Number two, to Lorraine's point, not everybody wants to get online. Not everybody feels like using a computer. A lot of folks, we've seen it, want to pick up the phone. So we talked about, let's get the communication out to the membership again about our care center. Here's the key differences. It's 24/7. It's right up the street from you guys. It's multilingual, and if somebody calls in and only speaks Mandarin Chinese, we're going to have a translator on the line. There's not a language on the planet that we can't handle. You can call it 24/7, and you can do all the same things you can do online. If you need to make a payment, you forgot to make a payment, we got to collect some more special assessments for those out there. We're working on that. You can do that through the care center. If you need a screening package, yes, sir.
Just so you know, the 866 number is posted in the window of the office, and it's also on both of our video monitors in the lobby. A lot of people have seen the number. When we came back from you last week, I posted it up there, and I think people have been very interested to see what that's for.
That 24-hour care center number has been posted on that door for months, since even with COVID.
All right, but I gave him signs to put up.
Okay.
Made it a little bit more aware to the people that it's available. I don't think we utilized it in the first 2.5 years, but we have it up there now.
Yeah, and I think that it's about that communication that we talked about, just continuing to remind everybody that it is there. And I was happy to see that it was put up there. We pulled the data with the board when we were in the room last week that, the care center, for those who have taken advantage of it, it was over 2,000 calls that have been handled there. So residents in the building have made over 2,000 calls. Of course, we track every single one of them in our technology. And if the issue was resolved right away or not, if it had to be elevated to the office. So there's been a lot done in that care center, and just want to make it available to everybody along with the technology. And then of course you can come down to the office or to the front desk, right? So that will always be there. But the key is that this system brings everything together so that if you go to the front desk and you ask for a work order, or if you put in a work order online, or if you go to Fonny's office, or if you call the care center, it doesn't matter how you communicate with us, how you interact with us, whatever works best for you, it all goes into the same system. And then the board looks at, and they do look at this, the work order reports, what's been done, by who, when, and does it get completed? So just to use an example. So those are key things, and you have to have one cohesive system to be successful in that. And you have to be able to communicate, and we're going to continue to do that. As Stuart mentioned and Fonny mentioned, it is the care center. We're going to continue to communicate this and post this and make sure every resident in the building knows about it. And then also these mobile applications that you see up here. and online, as more people move to that, that's going to be critical as well. So that was with the technology and how we plan to, that's where we are today, and some of the enhancements that have come up since we first started working for your community. I do have additional information on the care center that we talked about. And then just a little bit about who we are as an organization. I want to spend time, if I could, for any open Q&A. But just again, you guys know us. Again, it's been a pleasure serving your building, and I will say this, and Turner and Randy can jump in. We'd like to continue to do so. We are ready to take any shots. We're ready to take any constructive criticism, any comments from the membership and the board, and we're ready to act and improve on those. So we're not going to be perfect, but we think we're doing a really great job at your building with the support of the board. We'd like to continue to do that work. We'd like to continue to improve your building and be there for the next 20 years. We've been in business for 30 years now. We do manage over almost 2 million units throughout the US and Canada, and so you're knowing our company everywhere. Over 19,000 associates in the organization, and that's maintenance and housekeeping, and that's really the heart and soul of our company. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of them on the call today. And over 350 buildings just like yours, just in Southeast Florida. And again, I just want to impress on that. That's not Turner and that's not Randy. Nobody can manage 350 buildings. So it has to be the business unit structure, I think, so that you can call Bill, you can call Turner, you can call Randy, and we're local and we're up the street and we can get there. And we don't have to go to 350 buildings to do that. And we're not driving from West Palm Beach to get to you, right? So I think all that really matters in real life to your building. Some of the local buildings that we manage, you can see we've been there for since the beginning, and it's now anniversary time at Parliament Towers. Other buildings like Aqua Azul and Europa, we've been there since the buildings were built, and other buildings like Ocean Monarch were managed by someone else, and we were very fortunate for them to hire us, 8 years ago. Pompano Beach Club, Hampton Beach Club was also self-managed, just like you guys. So some of the buildings in the area, just so you can see the resources and the experience just, up and down the beach there. And with that, again, I'm just going to reiterate a sincere thank you for us all. I'm getting some feedback both on my text as well as the chat line here. And I'm happy to support with Randy and Turner. We have, from our perspective, no time limit today for you. So please feel free, and we hope to renew the agreement and continue our work for the team, and we will be making changes as you direct to make our service better for you. We are committed to your building. So thank you all very much for your time and attention on this.
Thank you, Bill.
All right. For the residents, just so you understand, this was just a presentation. We are awaiting numbers from First Service on what they're going to do for us for the next 3 years. The board will digest that information, and we will then schedule another board meeting. At the board meeting, we will discuss all 3 of the different companies, and the board will then make a decision themselves on which management company will go forward. This is not an owner vote. This is strictly a board vote, just so you understand that.
Bill, can we, Stuart, can
Linda,
we
you have
open?
a question?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Questions, Bill?
I'm sorry, Stuart, what was that?
Do you mind answering a couple of questions that people may have?
Absolutely not. I'm all yours. My pleasure.
All right, Lorraine, you go first.
That was my suggestion, that we open it to questions from people.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute Linda Safer.
Okay.
Okay, Linda, you have the floor.
Hi, I'm not an unhappy person in this building with First Service, but I have friends and I listen to people all the time talking about how they're not getting answers, that they have nobody to talk to who gets back to them. And I'm concerned about that. I've been fortunate. I've always had responses from people and I've gone places and gotten answers. Other people haven't been able to, and I hope some of them will have the opportunity to ask a question. But can you tell us specifically what you're going to do to improve communication?